So once we have these hypotheses, we go and define null and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is usually denoted as H0 or H0 and refers to the claim that there is no relationship or no difference between different groups with respect to the value of the population parameter. Null hypothesis is a claim that is assumed to be true initially. That is, at the beginning, we assume that the null hypothesis is true and try to retain it unless there is a strong evidence against null hypothesis. According to Fisher, null hypothesis is never proved or established, but it is possibly disproved in the course of experimentation. Every experiment may be said to exist only in order to give the facts a chance of disproving the null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is usually denoted as HA or H1 is the complement of null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is what the researcher believes to be true. The term alternative hypothesis was coined by Neyman and Pearson. The null and alternative hypothesis for the sample hypothesis stated earlier is described in this table. It is important to note that hypothesis testing checks the validity of the null hypothesis based on the evidence from the sample. As I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the test, we assume that the null hypothesis is true. Since the researchers may believe in the alternative hypothesis, he or she may like to reject the null hypothesis by collecting evidence against null hypothesis.